Hi, Abraham. I would like to ask for some help because I feel like I am really good about manifesting and focusing, but the one problem that I feel like I can't quite break through is...
And there it is.
And there it is.
And there it is.
That rascal I attracted. I laugh so hard when I hear your recordings saying, don't give them 1 ounce of attention. They'll hang on for dear life. And I did that. And then I'm like, dang it.
And are still.
Dang it, I know.
So the question is, how can I not think what I'm thinking about?
That's right.
Well, this rascal.
Yes.
Under the chair? In your pocket? Here? Or only in your thoughts?
Only in my thoughts.
So how to get the rascal out of your thoughts?
Yes.
How to slow down or stop altogether a momentum. A belief is just a thought that you continue to think. And your perception matters a lot, doesn't it? Because what's in your perception is what your point of attraction is. So what do you think your question is?
My question is, how do I stay focused?
Really good.
In the midst of chaos.
Wait, so you said, how do I stay focused? Which for a moment you left the rascal out.
Yes.
But then you said, in the midst of chaos, and you let the rascal in.
Yes.
See how it is?
Yeah.
You began really well, and the answer, of course, is to be as general as you can be. So can you explain to us briefly why you can't be more general about this all the time? Why are the specifics of it so up close to you?
Because he's my husband.
Yeah. Yes, but in every particle of the universe, there is wanted and absence of wanted. And in every particle of the universe, there are aspects that are what you would call positive or wanted, and aspects that... And so are you really blaming your point of attraction on something that is everywhere?
I realize that I created this, and it's making me stronger.
You see, that'll get you every time. I deserve this suffering.
No.
I will be better for it. Well, that's for sure true, but that just exaggerates the suffering or the trauma, doesn't it?
Yes.
We are really asking, and everyone relates to this in some way. We're really asking, do you need to remove yourself from every unwanted condition? Or is that a conditional living that will keep you on the run all the time? If the answer is to remove yourself from unwanted things, then really you will be on the run all the time. But if the answer is, I can focus around this, I can find my own path of least resistance. But when you focus right on the rascal or the problems, then you're not focusing on the path of least resistance, you're focused upon the path of most resistance. Is there a way? Is there any way to focus upon the path of lesser resistance?
Yes, I believe that.
So try a little. We know it's not easy when you haven't been practicing it at all. Or hardly ever. At all. Because it is easier, we know, it is easier to observe, and it is easier to form a perception around what you are observing. But when you remember that what creating is molding your perception, and you see, that's what trips all of our physical friends up, is because most of you have this affliction that says, I must tell it like it is. I should not pretend that something is other than it is, when everything has some of a lot of different things in it. And so the question is, what is it that gets me pointed at the things I don't want? What is it in my atmosphere that's making me see mostly that? Was I, for a period of time, not allowing myself to be influenced by my broader being who only sees the best parts of all buffets? How did it happen is not so important, but understanding that it has happened is. Because really, we could say to you, well, just get away. And we might even say to you, and when you do, you'll feel better. And you would say back, no kidding. But we can't say that to you because it gives you the wrong impression. It teaches you conditional life. It teaches you to do the impossible, which is control the conditions, control the behavior and the attitude, control the point of attraction, control law of attraction. I'm not going to do anything about moving my thoughts in more satisfying ways. I'm just going to think about whatever I want, and I want law of attraction to make all of the adjustments. That's like standing on a cliff and saying, I'm jumping, gravity, I would like you to adjust. Let me down easy. Let me down real easy. I want to be the exception to the law of gravity. And you're not going to ever be the exception to the law of attraction. And so you really don't have a choice. You have no choice. You have no choice. It feels like lots of choices. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I kill him? But really, the only choice that you have is to find some way of finding a path of lesser resistance, because satisfaction comes from only one place, identifying what you want and lining up with it. And do you know what you're fighting against? You're trying to overcome it with words here a little bit, in that you've said several things that let us all know that you're wanting to own up to you being the attractor of it. But nobody really wants to say, because it's never true, I made a terrible mistake. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. Where does that leave you?
Or I should know better.
Think about what that does to your point of attraction. I didn't do well. I should have known better. I wasn't listening to my guidance system. All of those things, feel how disempowering they are. And even more important, feel how they are not satisfying because they're not closing the gap. They're not in harmony with what your inner being knows. We're not asking you in a sort of typical human consciousness way to say, buck up or cope. We're asking you to let this be an opportunity to discover your real ability to focus yourself into a better place. Because you can't get to a better place by focusing on what's wrong with this place. It just doesn't happen. And that's why so many people, they leave one unhappy relationship and they find another one and they leave another one and then they find another one and then they leave another one and then they find another one, because that process doesn't work, because there's no exclusion in this universe of attraction. The more you push against something, the more you keep it active in your own vibration. And of course, any of you who have been listening to us for a while have heard this and heard this and heard this and heard this, and we know you don't want to hear it, but you've got to hear it, and you've got to figure out how to work with it, how to work with the laws of the universe. So if you would like to, we would like to help you find harmony with your inner being without making any action changes. Because if you make an action change, nothing has changed except that you're standing in a different place. What's your favorite thing about this person? You haven't practiced that at all, have you? Sort of hard to go cold turkey.
He speaks his mind.
Oh,
Very reckless.
oh wait.
Yes.
Oh, wait. We speak our mind.
Yes.
And we probably are reckless because we don't care what any of you think about it. Could you go so far as to say he's true to himself?
He's very true to himself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He should be shot. How dare he? How dare he be true to himself when he was born to be true to you? Does he demand that you be true to him?
Yes.
Oh, so there's hypocrisy? So he's true to himself, but he doesn't allow you to be true to yourself?
Yes.
How does that play out? We'd like an explanation, please.
A lot of grief.
Well, we get your assessment of it, but in what way are you not allowed to be true to yourself? How'd you get here? Is he locked in a closet somewhere?
I had to pay his way to get him to come.
Oh, so he's here?
I had to bribe
And you're
him.
telling us that you don't get to speak your mind? When you speak to the entire universe about something?
Crazy, isn't it?
Something is. Do you think it's normal for everyone to have differences of opinions about things?
Yes.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a very good thing.
So you can step back into a general enough place that you acknowledge the value of diversity and contrast and differing opinions. So what you object to is
Him controlling my thought pattern or how I behave or wanting to. And I don't like how I feel when I resist him.
So the problem is not
Really him, it's me.
Let's pinpoint it, because a lot of people understand this and feel this way. So what you're saying to us is that you're like almost everybody else in the sense that you, through this life experience, have been more catering to those who are up close to you and wanting to contour your behavior to please them, forgetting about there being this inner part of you that you're wanting to find alignment with. So what you're really saying is it was easier for you to see when you found alignment with something that is physical, easier for you than to find alignment with something that is non-physical. But now you're aware that your inner being is with you and aware of you and having opinions about things and with you in every moment of every day. Now you're sort of split about which master to serve, so to speak.
Yes.
Are you willing to give others the benefit of the doubt in just this way, that I didn't really understand that, and I do that not just with this person, but with just about everybody?
That's so true, yes.
And don't you change roles every now and again? And is there really anything wrong with wanting to please someone? Is there? That's a big question. Is there anything wrong with wanting to please someone? And think about what we're asking. That means, is there anything wrong with me being pleasing?
No, there's nothing wrong
Of course
with
there isn't anything wrong with it. But there is something out of whack when that matters more than my alignment with self. The only thing that is really sustaining, the only thing that will take you through everything that is a little bit bumpy is alignment with who you really are, knowing who you really are. And you know, there is no better opportunity to want to know who you really are than when you've lost yourself a little bit. And there's no opportunity to really become who you are than when you're in a situation or situations where that's challenged. Looking at it from that point of view, did you get this wrong or did you get this very, very right?
I got it right.
So doesn't that give you some clue that it wasn't a wrong decision, but it was a really right decision? Maybe even a decision that the two of you made even before you decided to come here to begin with? You said, we'll play different roles with each other. You said, we will remind each other how to come into alignment with our full self. And he said, I will be true to myself. And you said, I will too. I will too. So